Hello everyone, hope you guys are doing fine. So once again, welcome back to the new session on this Excel full course series. In this video, we will learn pivot table. This topic seems difficult sometimes, but in reality it is so easy. So let's quickly see where we can use pivot table and get its benefit. So guys, pivot table is used when the data set is like so huge, like you have 10 to 12 different columns or more than 50,000 rows. So what we can do is the data set, suppose if you want to analyze some particular thing or a particular field in that data set, then you can easily do it without getting through manually and in no time. So let's quickly start this video and start this session.
So this is our data set over here. You can see we have ID, date, region, country and everything. And you can see we have more than 50,000 rows over here. So in such a huge data set, we can do all kind of analysis using pivot. But before we do, we should know the data set is proper. So it should be in the tabular format, which is there. There are three prerequisites. That is, one, it should have the headers. So there should not be any empty heading. There should not be any empty column or rows. So we can see all the columns and all the rows are filled with the data, right? And thirdly is no subtotal or the total rows should be there. So I should not have any subtotal or grand total in the end of this data. That we should make sure. After these three conditions are checked, we can start with pivot. It's quite simple. You first have to be in the table wherever the data is there. Go to Insert tab, go to Pivot Table, and you can see the range has been automatically selected. You can decrease the range if you want to, but I want to work on this entire data set. And now you can see it is hard coded. So if you'll add more rows or something, then you'll again have to refresh the pivot. I'll show you later on. And second thing, it asks us whether you want to paste it in the new worksheet or the existing worksheet. So I want to paste in new worksheet. If you select existing worksheet, you have to give the location, but I am selecting the new worksheet. Okay, and let's get started. Now first pivot that I'll make is of item type and average total profit. So you can see over here, these are the headings. Hence, when I said that headings should be there, there should not be any missing headings. So which is useful. This is over here. You can see this is pivot table fields. And one more important thing to note is this Analyze and Design tab would be there in 2016 and post 2016 Excel versions. So now I am taking item type in the row. So you can see all the item types are available in the row labels, and I'll take total profit. Now I want average total profit. So in this values field, actually you can give only the numerical format, okay? But if you're giving any text format, then you can use count function over here, which you can change it by clicking on over here, and you'll see value field settings. I can change to sum, count, average, max, min. So if it is text, we can use count. Now I'm using average total profit, okay? And yes, now we can also change the format. So I'll just go over here, use number format and not format cells, because format cells will only format the underlying cell. So I'm going to number format, which we have learned already in the previous session. Go to number, use the separator, and I'll reduce the decimal places to 0. And you'll see now it has been more formatted. You can also sort your data from here just by clicking on the right click, sort largest to smallest. And you'll see cosmetics has the highest average total profit and the fruits have the lowest. So this way you can sort the data as well. Secondly, you can see over here in Analyze tab that field list is there. If you just hide this, that will hide away the field list tab over here. You can also remove these plus and minus buttons from here, and you can again add it, and the field headers. So over here the headers have gone. So I want the headers, I'll just again click it. Now we'll go and make other 15 pivot tables as well. So again I'll go and use insert, pivot table and new worksheet, okay. Another pivot table I want is with the column wise. So I want order priority I want region, and then I want sum of total profit. So I don't want average or anything, just the total profit. So see, so there is a priority in the column, there is a grand total over here, grand total row wise, and we have region. So I can change the format as well. So I'll go to design tab. You can see the report layout. I can change the layout to tabular form. So see, in the tabular form, I can see there is a region heading and the priority wise CHLM and the grand total both the sides. If I don't want the grand total both the sides, I can go to grand total and click on off for rows and columns, and you'll see both the sides it will remove. I can go to grand totals and put it only for column only. So only in the column I will get the grand totals, but not in the rows. Okay. And I can also change the color from here, from like this to blue or orange, whichever one I'll like it. So this way we can change the column. Now we'll do the third pivot. Again, I'll go in this data set, I'll go insert and go to pivot table and new worksheet. Okay. Now in this third pivot, we want item type in the rows, and I also want the maximum of the unit sold. So how will I do it? So I'll just give unit sold over here, and I can just right click. In value field settings, I can go over here and use maximum over here. And this way, I'll get the maximum item sold of that item, right? This way, we have made the third pivot. So you can see quite simple it is. Again, I can go insert, pivot table, new worksheet. In this, I want item type, and I am using this time the count. So item type and the count of the country and the region. So country and the region. See, in which country and which region we have sold which items. That way we can get the count of the country and the region. Again, I'll go over here, insert another pivot table, and this time I'll be needing item type and sum of unit cost, average of price, sum of revenue, maximum total cost, and average total profit. So I'll go use item type. I'll need unit cost. Okay. So get in the values. Then I'll need price. So yes. Then I will need sum of revenue. Okay. And then total cost and total profit. And I need to change all of this like this. So I can select here. Now, in the unit cost, I need sum of unit cost, which is fine. In the price, I need average. So I'll just go to value field settings and use average. Okay. In revenue, I need sum of revenue. In cost, I need maximum of cost. So I'll just go as value field settings and maximum. And in the profit, I need average of total profit. So I'll just go over here, go to value field settings and average. See how simple this was. And again, I can format my cells over here, directly going to number format, number, 0, and use separator this way. I can also give the currency over here. So now this was done for only this. I can just use this format painter. I can select the entire data, right? Like this we can do it. Start with the sixth pivot table, insert, pivot table and new worksheet. The sixth pivot, I want item type, country and unit sold. So I am going in item type, and item type I want in the columns, country I want in my rows, and unit sold should be in the values. So we can see accordingly in which country which items were sold in unit wise, right? Now I'll go and make another pivot, that is our seventh pivot, insert and pivot table, right? Okay. In the seventh one, I need item type, region and the sum of units sold. In the previous it was item type, country and the sum of units sold. So item type in the columns, region should be in the rows, and then units sold, like this, right? And now I just want in our 8th pivot, I'll go to insert, go to pivot table, and now in the 8th pivot we need region and the total revenue. So region and the total revenue, like this. Yeah, perfect. Okay, I can add separators. So I can just go to show value field settings. No, in the number format, and go to number and use 1000 as a separator. So like this we can see the separator. Now in our another pivot, I'll just go to insert, go to pivot table. Yes. In this pivot I want item type and sum of total profit. So item type, and I need sum of total profit and sum of total revenue. So total profit and total revenue, right? I can also calculate the percentage over here. So I'll just go and right click, show values as percentage of the grand total. So I'm getting the profit in the percentage format, and I can now add again the total profit over here. Now over here we can get in the numeric form and over the percentage form as well. You can explore this in the percentage of grand total or the percentage of column, percentage of row total and everything later on, right? Now we'll do another pivot. Go to pivot table, and the next pivot I need ID, sum of unit price, total revenue, sum of total profit, total revenue and total cost. So I'll just select first ID, okay, and then I need sum of unit price, then I need total revenue, then we need sum of total profit and total cost, okay, like this. Perfect. And if I select any of the ID, you will see I can select any of the ID, and this way I'll just select the ID number and I'll get the unit price, total revenue, total profit and total cost. Again I'll insert another pivot table, insert pivot table, okay. In this we will be using filter. You would be thinking we haven't used this field yet. We have put the field in the column, rows and the values, but this has been empty. So now we'll be using this one. First I want sales channel over here. So while it was offline or online, okay, then I need item type as well over here. So in offline the item type and in online the item type. And in the filter I'll be using region, okay, and in the value field I'll be needing total profit and cost. So I'll take total profit and total cost. So now you'll see in this filter what we can do is we can just select one Asia, and you'll see only the Asia will be showing here. If I'll select Australia, so only the Australia items will be showing over here. I can select multiple fields also like this, and I can just select Australia and Europe, and you'll see I'm getting the profit and the cost for those regions. Now we can insert the slicer as well. Instead of this filter, I can go to insert the slicer and I can use region as my slicer. This is present post 2016 and 2016 versions of Excel. So now you can see these two have been already selected. I'll select one more, and this one you can use shift and all these three will be selected together. Okay, so that is how you use slicer. Now another pivot. So this time I need to make another pivot. Insert pivot table. Alright, I want item type in total cost, total profit and the sum of units sold and everything. So I am going to item type, okay, total cost total profit, total revenue, unit sold, unit price, and unit cost, and total revenue, like this, item wise. Okay, and lastly we'll make one more pivot, that is insert pivot. Okay, and in this I'll give region, and I want sum of total cost over here. Now in analyze, you can see I have shown you the slicer. Now let's see what is the filter connection and insert the timeline. So now if I just want to copy, and I can paste another pivot over here. So what is happening is I'm getting a head start. Okay, I don't have to go and select the data and go to pivot. Now already I am getting these settings. I can change the second pivot over here. So I can, instead of region, I can give sales channel over here, and in that I can get the total cost. Okay, now I want date wise the insert timeline. So how will I do is insert timeline. In date, you will see now that I have inserted, I have timeline till 2021. So it has been selected everything. I'll select in quarters, and I'll just select quarter 2 of 2020. So you'll see I'll get the total cost of offline and online in quarter 2 of 2020. Okay, I can also go and change the format over here, color of this, and then I can report connection. So in this I'm just asking which pivot table I want to get connected with this timeline. So I'm connecting the one which I have in the sheet 14 itself. Okay, and in sheet 14 we have connected it with pivot table 15. I want to connect it with pivot table 14. So I'll just select this and OK. Now you'll see whenever I select one quarter, it will be affecting both the areas. So both the tables are connected. So that's how you can report connection with slicer and the timeline as well. Okay, now I have shown you almost everything. Yeah, there is one more thing that I want to show you is you can go and you can use recommended pivot tables. You will see you'll get some recommended pivot tables, and that is again kind of head start, and Excel is recommending that some of these tables which will be useful for you to analyze your data. And one more thing that I want to show is if I want to know the detail of the sum of total cost via Asia, I just have to double click and it will open in the sheet where I'm getting all the region of the Asia, and you can see the total cost. And if I'll just do the summation over here, you'll see 3348, and this should match with the total cost over here. So wherever you have in doubt or you want to know the detail of that cost or revenue in any of the pivot, just double click and you'll get the detail of it. And one more thing is that you must have noticed whenever I am inside the table, the pivot fields are highlighted, but whenever I click outside, they are gone. So if you want to use or access the pivot fields, you just have to be in the pivot table and this will appear. And I hope you have understood it.
So guys, I hope you enjoyed this session on Excel. In this Excel course, we are going to cover all the things, like from formulas to charts and graphs, pivot table, and even some case studies on real life data sets. I hope you guys will feel more confident on your Excel skills after this. But remember, practice makes you the perfect. So don't hesitate to try out what you have learned. Also, if you want to excel in your career too, then you can check out our Data Science Pro program by clicking on the link given in the description. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions or if there is a specific Excel topic you'd like us to cover in the future videos, drop a comment below. Till then, happy learning.